Well, what is up, all of you Ugnaughts and Jawas out there, and welcome back to another Mando Talk live stream. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Yeah,
Zach
that's the energy
Horvath.
we're getting today. I love it. Let's
Zach
get hyped,
Horvath,
boy.
how are you doing this week, man?
It has been a hectic week. It has been pedal to the metal. But I am ready to just chill out, talk about some Star Wars, and hang out with everybody here. We're live, baby.
Dude, let's do it. First of all, if you are watching live with us, let us know you're here. Type your name in the chat. Say what's up. Tell us how you're feeling. I know I'm feeling good. It's the end of the week vibes going on, and guess what we got on deck? Tomorrow is the Bad Batch. We're starting like the second half of the season, and we got a little like mid-season sneak peek today. I don't know, Zach, if you saw this.
I did.
Did you
yes.
You got a chance to see it. So I want to show real quickly, and again, Zach, it's just one of the settings we got right now, so people are going to see your face when I show this. I hope that's A-okay. But, yeah, pose form. So,
yeah.
Fennec and Omega are displayed in this mini trailer sneak peek for the remainder of the season. They're shown here face to face, facing each other. So we know that Fennec is going to be coming back here pretty soon. So let's speculate just for a second before we get to the news. Let's give some time for maybe those that want to get in here live to talk about Star Wars news with us. Some time to get here first. But so with us talking about the Bad Batch, I don't know how I'm feeling about tomorrow's episode, but I do have one take, and Zach, I don't know if you're going to agree with me on this. I kind of expect tomorrow's episode to be a lull, like to go down a notch compared to the previous 2 weeks. And that's not like, I'm not trying to be negative with that. It's going to happen at some point because these past 2 or 3 episodes have been so hot and so interesting that it's going to pop up. You think it pops up tomorrow or maybe a couple of weeks from now? What do you think, Zach? That's my take, though. I think it's going to be a little down compared to previous weeks.
Okay. I think I am there with you. I think it's going to be a set the scene type episode, or I should say set the tone for the next half, because it really feels like to me the mid-season finale was very much a end of a book. Like, all right, we got to the book where Omega's with the team and they've built and they've grown and they had the Wrecker, head drama.
Yeah.
Then you had Rex come in there. And now I think this next chapter, if you will be about Omega growing or taking what she's learned on her own, Bad Batch trying to save her, Crosshair trying to stop them. I mean, I think that's where we are. I think the chess pieces are set. I don't know. Do you agree with that?
No, and I agree perfectly. And as you were saying all that stuff again, Omega growing, it's displayed in that picture beautifully. Like her coming face to face with Fennec, I have a feeling that that's going to lead to a very interesting conversation. Who knows what plot lines come of that, but I'm intrigued. And I can't wait to see it. But do you have any, like, I guess, story beats, like, even more specific about Bad Batch tomorrow? Other than, me and you both seem like we're agreeing that it's just going to be a little bit downplayed.
I don't even know if we'll see this scene tomorrow.
Right. Okay, that was another thing that I wanted to make sure I asked you.
I'll say that. Okay. I mean, potentially, but I want more of characters we had last week. I guess spoilers for last week, but I think it's going to be kind of chill and very solemn. I think it's going to be kind of a darker episode. I mean, I'm going off nothing here. This is completely my feelings. Hey, but that's kind of where I sit.
It's the force flowing through.
I feel it.
It's a feeling. It's a feeling.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I wanted to get those Bad Batch thoughts and ideas out there because, I mean, we're in pregame mode, Bad Batch is coming here in a few hours, but, I've said it before here on air. I really feel like here in Central Time Zone, we really don't get the cream of the crop as far as time slot. 3 a.m., what is it? It might be 2 a.m., honestly, for us.
No, I think
your boy can't stay up that late right now.
Yeah, nah. No shot. So I'll be catching it when I can tomorrow.
I'll be catching it probably for me first thing in the morning. That way, here on YouTube, I'll drop my quick takeaway, and then we'll go from there. But anyway, I wanted to get those thoughts out there. Zach, you have anything else you want to add until you take the reins of the Falcon, you take the ship, and we talk about the Star Wars news?
No, I think that's it. The mid-season sneak peek was kind of boring. Wasn't really a sneak peek. It was a recap
with a couple new shots.
with like 2 new shots, but that's okay. I thought it was good, and I'm happy it did that. I sound like I'm downing it, but I'm happy. I was scared to watch it because I was like, all right, I don't want to see too much, but they did a good job at keeping it light.
Yeah, sure.
But all right,
let's do it.
Moving on.
Let's talk about the news.
All right, Star Wars news. That's why you're here. That's what we're doing tonight. It's a live stream. We're doing news, baby. I will say it's not the heaviest week in terms of news, but I think we're going to have some good conversation with our topics.
And actually, our first topic isn't really even necessarily a news piece per se, but it's just one of those things that I think is slowly going to start coming up, and I think it'd be interesting for us to go ahead and dive into. So, Zach, take the floor.
All right. So, number 1 on our news, if you want to call it that, my question to the world, to the chat, to you, listener, to Keller, when should we expect Book of Boba Fett content? Okay. So the word content could mean anything. So I'm going to start in a place where it's as simple as we think. We've seen previous first looks here. We got our first images of season 1 this is for Mandalorian.
For the Mandalorian, correct. Yeah.
For mid-April 2019. Okay.
So that's
mid-April.
Past this point.
That's right. Or before where we are on the timeline. Right.
So comparing that to where we're at with Book of Boba Fett, we are now 2-3 months past that point.
And then our first images of season 2 weren't until early September of 2020. So that's very interesting, right? And talking about, what we got from Mandalorian, to use that as our baseline, our litmus test.
Right.
The Mandalorian season 1 trailer was August 23rd, 2019. That sounds about right.
Yeah, that does sound about right. Yeah,
that sounds about right. But we'll get there. Yeah. Mandalorian season 2 was September 15th, 2020. So, first of all, do you think we can use this as a good tester? What's your thoughts?
I think so. I think we actually need to focus more so on the Mando season 2 pump train, like the timeline for that, because Mando 1 was new territory. It was a TV show that was new for Star Wars, so they had to pump content out earlier to get people hyped up for it.
And Disney Plus. It was new across the board.
Dude, that's a great point. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just thinking about Star Wars Lane. But they don't have to advertise this at this point the way they used to, man. Like, they could just wait all the way until, honestly, I'm thinking September probably. It's probably going to be like one of those, Monday Night Football, come check out the Book of Boba Fett's first trailer. So I'm honestly expecting September for a trailer. But with that said, I do think we're getting close. I feel, for some reason, back to that force, back to that feeling. I feel the train is slowly going to start coming here within maybe a month or two as far as an image goes. What do you think, Zach?
Yep. I think in August, maybe late July, but August, I think we're going to start getting character posters.
Yeah.
They love to drop those. Yeah, they freaking love a character poster. So I think it's going to be just a shot of Boba Fett in, his typical cleaned up armor, and then Fennec with her thing, and maybe a new character that we don't know about.
Sure.
But I think they might drop that, and then they'll do their freaking trailer for the trailer thing, where they'll drop like a little snippet. And then at the end, I agree with you. I'm looking at the Monday Night Football schedule. September 13th is the first Monday Night Football.
All right.
That's it.
There's our prediction. You heard it here first. Mando Talk is reporting the Book of Boba Fett trailer on that date.
September 13th, Monday Night Football, That's our prediction of the first Book of Boba Fett trailer. And I think that would be a good call by them if they drop it then. I really do, because you're going to have a lot of eyeballs watching. You got people that are just itching for sports, with COVID and everything.
Yeah.
Kind of starting to hopefully die down and everyone's doing better. I think the hype for Monday Night Football is going to be high. We're going to be dying for content by September 13th. And if they do their job in pulling along the food
right
until then, but we'll see.
And I think really the reason why I felt so compelled to talk about this week is because I'm already there as far as anxious level. Like, I'm dying to, and don't get me wrong, Bad Batch it's great, especially the past 2 weeks. We've definitely talked about that, but I need some live action content somewhere, and we know we have so much stacked up, and I keep forgetting, and I think a lot of people keep forgetting, Book of Boba's coming this year. I mean, it's right around the corner.
We're a few months away.
And I think that train is slowly but surely starting to get rolling.
Yep.
I
think August is when we're going to start sniffing it out. We're going to be like, oh man, is this Star Wars content? And then September, boom, trailer. And then boom, trailer, November or October, November, boom.
Yeah.
And September, I think, is the perfect time for me personally, because that puts it into the world for everyone to say, hey, if you haven't watched Mandalorian, go back, watch Mandalorian.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and that's how they're going to spin it a little bit. Like, some of their marketing push is going to be a continuation of Mandalorian season 2, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Why wouldn't they?
And definitely, because Collider just reported, think of this as Mando 2.5.
Exactly.
So they're definitely probably going to advertise it that way. And something else that I just thought of, I don't expect them to drop any content until Bad Batch is over, and we're halfway through. So that lines up again perfectly 2 months from now. I wouldn't expect them to do that. Now, I could be wrong. They could drop Book of Boba Fett content on us as the Bad Batch is coming to a close, but I would imagine they wouldn't do that, since they want to hype up, make sure you catch the final weeks of the Bad Batch.
Yep. And finale of Bad Batch airing in mid-August. I'm reading. I didn't do the math, but it's saying mid-August.
Okay. So yeah, we might get an image the following week.
I was gonna say,
okay, here's our next thing. Stick around. We got you.
And what I'm thinking about was like Falcon Winter Soldier and Loki, where they started. They were pretty close in terms of their release date, but they waited a good amount of time before they started promoting Loki. So I think maybe, couple weeks before the finale, we may see that poster.
Oh, okay.
Like early August because why not? If you're marketing, like, you get people interested, they see Boba Fett, they go, oh, and then they go, wait. It's Disney Plus. Oh, what is this Bad Batch? Let me click on that. You know what I mean? It's like this weird cavalcade of events that happen.
And I love it. Especially,
I should be in marketing.
You should. Especially if they, play on that potential thread. And I don't really want to go down this spoiler lane with the Bad Batch, but the possibility of Boba or another character that's out there.
Any
right
other
now,
characters, but specifically
connecting.
Boba. I mean, and we have the Fennec Shand, connection already.
Thread. Yeah.
The thread, if you want to call it that. But I think it'd be really cool if they did that. This is pure speculation,
100%.
Not a spoiler at all.
100%.
We're just talking. I think it'd be really cool. But
that's
kind of, I thought it was cool to bring up as well, because it's Book of Boba Fett. It's the next piece of big content that we're looking forward to. And it's always fun to speculate.
Absolutely. So I'm speculating like crazy over here already.
Yeah, Let's I know. You're dropping bombs over here.
Love
All
it.
Right. Number 2 on the list of Star Wars news. This is a good one. These next 2 are bangers. They are bangers.
Bangers.
I'm telling you. All right. So number 2 on our list, Emilia Clarke shares interest about returning the Star Wars franchise in a recent interview with Hollywood Reporter. So I'm going to go through what she said and what happened, and then we'll talk about it. So
do it.
The interviewer states the following. That was beautiful. The interviewer states the following. Well, I really hope she makes her way into the Disney Plus universe, talking about Qi'ra,
Mm-hmm.
a woman crime boss who's secretly helping the rebellion to atone for all the suffering she's caused, is just too tantalizing to ignore. You can tell she's a reporter because, my God, the wording is beautiful.
Yeah.
And then Emilia Clarke says, "Oh, I know, and I agree. I really had pages about what her life was and what it would be afterwards." Interesting fact.
Very interesting.
But I'm afraid I've heard nothing of Disney Plus being the case. So maybe I'll just write it and send it to them. I'll be like, "Hey guys, I got a few ideas." Ha ha ha. Right. And then the interviewer says, "Of all your past characters, is Qi'ra the one you'd most like to revisit?" And Emilia Clarke responds with, "She's the one that has the most unfinished business." So I would agree with that.
Yeah, so a lot of cool things there that I just real quickly want to point out, and you already alluded to it. The fact that she wrote something based on this character means a lot, in my opinion. Like, if she cares that much about that character, and maybe she had a conversation in the past with somebody about, hey, if you write a treatment, we might look at it one day, so consider that. I don't know. Am I reading too much into that?
I don't think you are. I think it may be deeper than that. I think it's going to be she maybe didn't do the notes herself. Maybe she got the backstory, right? Because I mean, I think it's standard operating procedure for these actors and actresses to write like life stories about these characters. I've heard other people say this. However, the interesting part from her is the point that she talks about before and afterwards, and then she uses the freaking words "unfinished business."
Yeah.
Why would she say that? Why would she say unfinished business? Right. Yeah, like we know we got that little snippet in Solo there, and maybe that's what she's alluding to, but that tells me that she or someone has got way more story cooked up for her.
I think so. Now, we've talked about this before with these actor and actress talent interviews where, they have an end game overall. Like, they're saying these things inside these interviews for a reason.
Yeah.
Is she, continue? Because this is what, like the
Yes.
third week in a row now? Because what's she what's she marketing right now? Do you know? Not a clue. I don't have a clue.
I don't know
either.
why she's like everywhere.
She is like the past 3 weeks, she's been popping up, but
because she's going to be in Secret Wars or Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion for Marvel, right?
Marvel. That's right.
There it is. Marvel getting a plug this
week. But I just know of that being another reason why she's in the news. I'm like, man, this chick is everywhere. I don't know what she's promoting, if I'm being honest with you.
Well, regardless of whatever she's promoting, this is now like the third time she's talked about Qi'ra during this promotional schedule for what she's currently in.
I truly believe that she loves this character and she loves this universe and where it landed at the end of Solo and potentially other things out there in the world, if you want to speculate.
I think this is going down a different kind of path here for a second, but Solo, say what you want about Solo as far as money, but there isn't really much negative feedback on that movie online compared to others. Compared to all the other stuff that we've seen. So I think she definitely loves the character. She loves the franchise. She probably loves the fan base. She's used to that atmosphere as far as Game of Thrones goes. She probably is dying to get back into something like that. And, I mean, she's there with Marvel if that.
And let's call it what it is here. I'll be the dark shadow in the room here. She really hasn't been in anything else, right? Besides Game of Thrones. She's been in other stuff.
Right, like well known for like big
stuff
bangers.
That's actually, good. She hasn't really been in. And so I am super excited and for the Secret Invasion for that very reason, but also for this. I would love to see her lead this show. Like, we know she can do it. She's proven her chops on Game of Thrones. So why not let her do it, man? I just why not tie it into the freaking Book of Boba Fett?
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly.
Why would you not do that? I that seems like a low-hanging fruit to me, and maybe that's why she's throwing these little nuggets in here. Oh, I haven't talked to nobody, blah blah blah. But really, it's like, hey, Emilia, talk about Qi'ra. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know. That's again
It's
pure
like
speculation.
it's like
But
Lucasfilm or Disney plugging in her ear and saying, say these things so we can get like a gauge test as to where the fan base is
because
with
they
this stuff.
1000% do that.
Yeah,
They 1000% do that
they
because
do.
these actors know they got them by the cojones. So they got to be super careful. You know, they're thinking about if you ever watch these interviews,
Mm-hmm.
they're so good because their minds are just what can I say? What can I not say? You
Yeah.
know, because they know all this and we don't know any of it. And so I thought this was a great interview by the interviewer as
Yes.
well.
Yeah. There's a lot of
I
different things in there, not even
I
just
was gonna say
Star
that.
Wars or Qi'ra related. So, I mean, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, Emilia Clarke fan, Star Wars fan, check it out. I mean,
Yes.
it's got all kinds of goodies in it.
Yep,
But
Hollywood Reporter. I don't know who the interviewer was.
yeah,
So sorry to
I
her,
missed
but
on that. But
or him, but go yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, we brought back our weekly, middle of the week Star Wars poll question on Twitter based on this topic. So Zach, do you have that Twitter poll prepared?
I
You got
do.
that pulled
I
up?
do.
All right, man, hit that. Let's see first
All
of all,
right.
what was the question and what were our results?
Yeah, so our midweek poll at Mando Talk Twitter, come follow us, be a part of the show. So it was how likely, not how much you want it, is it that we see Qi'ra / Crimson Dawn / Darth Maul's story on Disney Plus, starring Emilia Clarke as the lead? That was the question,
Mm-hmm.
right? How likely is it that she's going to lead a show about Crimson Dawn?
Right.
So we went from 0 to 25% and then through.
And so on.
So
Yeah.
So starting at 0 to 24% chance of that happening,
Mm-hmm.
it was 23%.
Okay.
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 So 25 to 49%. So the next fourth was at 15%. And then 50 to 75 and then 75 and above were both at 30-ish%.
Okay.
So we're pretty freaking split as
Yeah.
a audience on this Twitter poll.
Interesting. And
Yeah.
honestly, I think my vote goes to the 0 to 24, honestly. And I think that's just because, at the end of the day, it is a business. And currently the mindset is Solo lost money, so we're not going down that avenue right now.
I mean, I am very surprised personally that 75 and above and even 50% and above was at 30% each, because
I agree.
I also voted 0 to 24%. I don't see this happening.
But again, I really want it to. Like, if that question was based on want, I'm clicking the like 100%. Absolutely, let's make it happen. But again,
but the likeliness of it,
business.
Yeah, and so there's a guy that I think we both love to watch, John Campea.
Yes,
go check him out. He's on YouTube. But he always brings up a very interesting point that I want to echo. I don't want to get caught in characters we already know, right? He gets very worked up that we stay in this little bubble. And to an extent, he's correct. And I agree with him, I should say, where I want Qi'ra and Darth Maul and all these people in their own shows. However, Disney seems to be showing to me that they are expanding further than we know. Okay, another news topic we're going to talk about, Acolyte. The anime anime style animated shorts coming, I believe, or what is it called?
Visions.
I always forget the name of that. Visions. Then we got Ahsoka, which is, character we know. We've got Mandalorian, character we didn't know. We got Book of Boba Fett, character we know. So we're getting this
Kenobi
perfect
Andor.
balance. Yeah, perfect balance of, we're getting a lot of familiar stuff, but here's these little nuggets of new. And so, long story short of what I'm trying to get to here, I don't want to get caught up in only seeing who we have in our bag of characters right now. But man, I would be very excited if they dropped it tomorrow and said, boom, Emilia Clarke, lead of the new Crimson Dawn series. Like I would be totally down.
I guess only to be, on the flip side of it. And I agree with everything you're saying. I love getting new characters. But as far as where we left Qi'ra at the end of Solo, we know nothing. Like, it was revealed at the very end.
Nothing.
it was revealed at the very end of that film that she was working for Darth Maul. So we don't really know their connection or their relationship and how Crimson Dawn is really establishing itself. We've gotten teases about Crimson Dawn and other content, Clone Wars, comics, books, but we haven't really explored it on screen. And I think that would be my only argument against, yes, she is a character that we've seen before, but really we only saw her in this light of, oh, that's just Han's young love interest. But we never really
That's fair.
We never explored her in the, crime lord, this awesome woman crime lord that's just killing it. That's with the ranks of Darth Maul. I mean, that to me is extremely interesting.
When you say it like that, I mean, my God, that's amazing. Yeah, I agree 100%. And I think, man, the more we talk about it, the more I'm hype, and I want to see her in Book of Boba Fett.
Book of Boba Fett, okay.
Yeah.
Well, and again, Tamara Morrison, a couple weeks ago, we talked about it, says, we're going back in the franchise. We still don't have clarity on if Qi'ra's alive or not.
Like, who's to say she's dead or alive or where she is in this point? So so Solo is way before Mandalorian, correct?
Correct. It's before A New Hope.
That's what I'm thinking of our timeline. So it's over here. Then we're going New Hope, Empire, Return, and then Mando, and then Book of Boba Fett, right?
Yes. Well, and again, Tamara's saying it's going back and forward. But yes, specifically Book of Boba
from where
focused.
We ended.
Right.
Where we ended. Dude, I really think we might see her. I don't know.
Man.
The more we talk about it, the more it just makes sense on a hype level. You want to break the internet and get the Solo fans happy, and it just seems like a good thing to do. Okay. And a woman in a leading role, like, that's a big deal. And I just, especially crime.
You think her saying, all this stuff about Qi'ra lately isn't really about her own thing, but her possibly knowing in the back of her head that, look, I'm showing up in a Book of Boba Fett episode and you don't know about it.
Completely speculation, but I'm over 5% on that now. Okay. Like, I'm climbing the ranks of my percentage. Because it just makes sense.
Even on my radar, honestly.
It wasn't either for me, but these past 3 weeks we've been talking about Qi'ra, and we're talking about Crimson Dawn and the environment she's in and where we left her and what Book of where Boba Fett ends the show. Spoilers, when he's sitting in the freaking palace. In this crime lord's palace.
Yeah, and to add to your point, and this is a spoiler if you haven't seen it before, Qi'ra's back. Comic book, her character returned. She's well and alive after the events of Empire Strikes Back. So it's very possible. I see what you're saying. I like what you're saying. I want what you're saying.
Yeah. I swear to God, if I'm right, we better blow this up on every daggum social media.
Absolutely.
Y'all better be retweeting.
Absolutely.
Because there ain't no way I'm right, or we're right, I should say. But
there's
I think
two things so far that we could be right about tonight. When we're going to actually get a trailer. Apparently, we're getting Qi'ra in the thing.
Yeah. I mean, because it just makes sense. If they're both these crime lords, well, Boba Fett wouldn't technically be a crime lord, but maybe he is now, and then maybe we see her episode 4 or whatever, right? Okay. Or second chance we see her, it's just Boba Fett sneaking around trying to survive, and then crosses paths with the bounty hunter, and then it cuts to a scene, and she's like, "Kill him." I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, I said, I would love to see it, but I agree. There is a lot of interesting things there with the things that Emilia Clarke has been saying recently.
Yeah.
Sign me up to see the character more, but again, I am of the party that, yes, I really want to see it. I still don't expect to see it, though. That's just me. We'll see.
I don't either. Let us know what you guys think if you're rewatching or live. If you're in the chat, throw it in there. What do you think? Do you think it's likely we're going to see Qi'ra come back at all live action? That'll be our new question. Do you think she comes back at all? Let us know. You can call me crazy or you agree, whatever you think, but definitely let us know. And be a good time to plug here. Come join our Discord.
Yes.
It's free in the link. If you're watching, if you're watching live or if you're replaying us, just come join the Discord. It's free. Sign up. If you don't have one, if you do, come join. We're pretty active in there. We're dropping memes, talking about Bad Batch spoilers. It's a really, really good time. And you see how goofy we are. Just imagine if there's a bunch of us together in a room.
Right.
It's a really good time, and we'd love to see you there. So come on over.
Agreed. Are we?
Yeah,
are
I had to plug
ready?
that.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
So
That's a great
we're getting
plug.
into number 3 on our news here, and this one, boys and girls, if you've been a listener, you know I'm about to get hype up in here.
You are.
When I get hype, I turn the level up and I get really loud, so you may want to turn your volume down. But so the Acolyte, the showrunner of the Acolyte, Leslie Headland, okay, talks Star Wars in a recent interview with the AV Club. The AV Club's really good, by the way. They have some pretty good
honestly,
content.
I've never checked out the AV Club.
I really like their reviews of like TV shows and stuff.
Okay.
I used to read their reviews a lot I believe it was when they were doing like Breaking Bad and Walking Dead. But
okay.
Acolyte, Leslie Headland. Okay. Headland states she has been a fan for most of her life and got into reading novels and playing RPGs, which is her favorite version of Star Wars in her teens. Let's stop right there, folks. You got me hype.
I knew you were going to stop right there, man.
You got me hype already. You say you've been a fan your whole life, most of her life. She's been reading novels, which is some of the best Star Wars, I've been told. And she loves playing RPGs. Just put that in the trailer. Just her saying that, you got us all in, okay?
Right. And
like
now one thing though that I also thought about when I read that specific quote is I would love for a list of what her favorite ones are, because then I think that allows us as fans to mentally get in her headspace a little bit, and then maybe start making some predictions about the Acolyte. If I was, if I had been the one asking those questions, that would have been my immediate follow-up. Yeah. Okay, give me a list. Which games did you play?
and to be the flip side of my excitement, when I read playing RPGs, I was like, I don't want no freaking go do this task. I'll give you this thing. All right.
Sure.
We've been seeing Star Wars RPGs in every show. We're going to get that episode, right? We're going to get an episode where a character goes, haha, I have what you want. Go kill this person. Okay, killed him. Here's your thing. Right. But that's just me being picky. Like, I am so hype about this one thing. Right. So let me move on.
Agreed.
The level of this is just another thing talking about the interview. The level of participation of Star Wars fans on social media is something that excites her. So she's got a pulse. She's got a finger on the pulse. Good to hear. I mean, sometimes they don't even talk about that. So
right, and sometimes that scares some people away, honestly.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is going to be a big one, I think. So, developing the Acolyte process. She sought out people this is so interesting. She sought out people that were different from her in mindset and artistics, right? Artistics? Is that a word?
Yeah.
She did not want people that would agree with her artistically. She had an intention of putting together a room of people that hadn't been in a room ever before. Dude. This person, I want to meet her now. Like, I want to meet this person because she seems like she's doing all these things that I would want a creator of the freaking Acolyte to do.
Interesting.
I love that last line where she talks about, it's a lot. Okay. This is a lot. I'm not even done yet, folks. There's more to talk about. So she has writers who haven't even seen Star Wars before. They didn't know Luke and Leia were even siblings. Now, this results in feedback from talent that is not tied to the fandom, which means she hired people that are not necessarily the diehard cutthroat fan that she is. My goodness, I love this.
There's a lot.
And now
there is a lot.
We're going to talk about this for a minute here, folks. So there's one more little thing I want to bring up.
Okay,
so
sure.
Discussing film reports that the Acolyte will begin production in February of 2022 in London, and Lucasfilm is looking to cast a young woman of color in the lead role. I love bringing that up because it's very important. Both things I said there. February 2022. Are you freaking kidding me? Let's get hype. I thought this was like a 2025 or something show.
Dude,
like, you guys gonna make me cry on live stream
I'm
here.
ecstatic here that you're like this hyped, man.
Dude, because we've had nothing. They
Yeah.
just said, hey, here's a cool show about something dark and Sithy. And it's
Right.
like, oh, all right. And then they show us the logo and you're like, oh. And then we got freaking the showrunner. She the showrunner? Yeah. The showrunner dropping these heaters. All right. And we're going to take them one by one.
Yeah.
Let me fix my camera real quick.
No,
We're live
man.
here. We're live. I got to fix my camera. I'm having to like duck down like this. There we go. All right. So let's start at the top. So she's talking about reading these novels, playing RPGs. I'm all in. Hashtag all in on Acolyte, baby, because that's exactly what I want to hear.
Yeah.
Now, you guys have heard what I thought. What's your thought, Keller, on her saying that first?
Well, for me, it's just, exciting to see that she has, first of all, dug deep into the content. She's a fan just like us. At least that's what she's portraying, that she's read the novels. And to be honest, people that read novels, they're diehards. Let's just go ahead and call it. If they're the ones that play video games, the ones that dive deep into every single canon piece that they can get to, they're diehard fans. And it's really exciting to see her level of dedication to that. That's my big takeaway with that.
Wow. Touche. I like it. So moving on, number 2 of our list of what she dropped on us. The level of participation of Star Wars fans on social media is something that excites her. I love hearing that. Now, she may be, just spinning it, and she may be crapping herself about it. But the fact she even brings it up and says that it excites her tells me that she's confident enough in herself and their writing that they do have something good. And I may be reading into that too much, but what do you think?
No, I think that definitely speaks to the confidence level of what she's got. I think she feels confident in that she's going to deliver a great story for the fan base, which I am all about. I would love to see. And my only concern is, thinking about all the other creators that have been on Twitter, for example, in the Star Wars franchise. Unless your name is Favreau and Filoni, the fan base comes at you. It's like 50-50. Half the fan base loves you, the other half absolutely hates your guts, and they're going to find every little detail they can to somehow come at you viciously. Let's just be honest. Star Wars fandom can get pretty ugly. And
it's one of the most, ridiculous out there.
Yeah.
In the dark corners.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. And I'm not one that's, ever goes to that extreme. I can be critical of things that go down online, but, respect the hard work that clearly she and her staff have put into this thing.
And we've talked about this before. It's hard to make a good show.
Yes,
it's hard to make a good anything. So these people, it sounds like this lady's been working, maybe her whole life trying to come up with this idea of a show. And just the fact that she says, yeah, that excites me. I'm pumped for it. She knows how big the fandom is.
Yeah.
She's a fan herself. She knows how vicious they can be.
Right.
So why not take the wins when you can get them? Okay. Like when you're in sales here, you got to take the wins when you can get them, because they're few and far between. And maybe she drops episode 1 and everyone hates it, and then she starts getting death threats and stuff, right? Because people are dumb.
Right.
So I'm just happy to see that she notices it.
Yeah.
There's good vibes. That's good. That's all I can ask for.
I'll just go ahead and say, if she wants good vibes in the Star Wars community, follow at Mando Talk. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
Come on the show. Let's just get her on the show.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Leslie, dadgummit. Come on, girl. That'd be awesome.
That would be.
So the next thing was this one we got to unpack here. But I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
So she sought out people that are different from her in the mindset. Okay. She did not want people that would agree with her artistically. And she even had people who didn't know that Luke and Leia were siblings. Okay. Dude, That's a good showrunner right there, folks, in
Yeah.
my mind.
I do think it sets up a lot of great story possibilities. Now,
Yes.
I do want to be just completely honest to people
I know
listening.
what you're going to say.
That does just make me a little nervous. Just a
You're
little,
going to say that.
okay? Just a little that we are, basing story on people that haven't seen Star Wars before, which is
Yeah.
fine. And I get that. I've talked about it before. We want to Star Wars needs to grow, and in order to grow, it's got to reach to people that have never seen Star Wars
Yes.
before. And in order for you to create a show for people that have never seen Star Wars before, you got to get in that mindset. And if it's not possible for the creators to get in that mindset because they've spent their whole life in the Star Wars galaxy playing with toys, video games, reading novels, you name it, then yeah, you need to seek out that advice from people outside that lane. But with that said, on the flip side, just to give a different perspective, I guess the only reason why it makes me nervous is we've seen, and I've talked about it, the formula that works. Filoni and Favreau are two people that are die-hard fans. They know the franchise, they get it, and they execute. And
Yeah.
I guess that's my only twist on it. But as a creative head, like as a showrunner, it makes sense to go the route that she's going. I just wanted to share, my honest feelings about that, though.
Well, that's what we want. And
Yeah.
and I kind of thought you might go there because to just call it what it is, you're way more diehard than me, I would say. Which I do love Star Wars, but you are, I would say, a diehard Star Wars guy.
Yeah, probably.
Right. I mean, and that's great. That's why we're here.
Sure. Yeah.
But coming from my angle, this is exactly what I want to hear. I don't want a bunch of yes men in there or yes women going like, oh yeah, no, we can't do that because then this and blah, 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 blah. Like, I want a person to come in and say, when she says, okay, we've got this Sith with the lightsaber fighting the Jedi using the Force, and I want them to be like, all right, you got to break it down for me here. Like, what's going on? Because that allows them to break off this fanatical idea of Star Wars and this nostalgia and this love. We're getting down to characters. If I don't know what you're talking about, I want to get down to why are we doing this? Like, why is this? Okay, this person's holding a sword. Like, why are they fighting? What's going on? That's what I want these people to ask. And I hope they are. I'd like to think they are. And they're going to be able to give us these fresh takes that if this person is, smart enough or creative enough to do, meld the two, right?
Yeah. And see, I think there's a balance there, just like there's a balance in the Force. I think there's a balance of, Leslie allowing the ones that haven't seen Star Wars before, sharing their ideas and, developing story on that. But I hope, and it sounds like, and I'm sure she's probably considering this, when it comes to like the ideology of the Sith, of stuff that's been established, like we do need somebody that knows what that's like and doesn't venture outside of that, because canonically, is that how you say that? Canonically, it's still got to fit the Star Wars franchise. I don't know how far back this is yet. I know some have like said 300-ish years before Phantom Menace, but we know eventually like this idea of rule of two is established with the Sith, all of these different mythology and all this stuff that somebody that knows Star Wars has to be a part of it. And it sounds like she's going to take reign of that, but she also, to benefit story and bring in those new fans, have these people that don't even know that Luke and Leia are brother and sister.
and let's think of another thing. We still got the captain. We got Dave.
That's true. True.
We got our Filoni up there going, Sith wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel heavily confident that he is going to have his fingers on this, because this is something we haven't dove into before. And I would like to believe that he'd be very excited to be involved with something like this.
I think so.
Because of the possibilities it opens up creatively. Like if I was if I was a good writer, not if I was creative, not this would be fantastic for me.
Mm-hmm.
Saying like, hey, guess what? We're going dark. We got to figure out and write some of the outstanding Sith myths and lore that we don't know about yet.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to do that. You know what I mean? Like that would be very exciting as a creative, especially if we're in this room with Filoni, with Leslie, with Favreau, with these randos that don't know anything, right? And you're pitching this on the wall.
But
and
I'm sure that all of the people in that room are extremely talented. They are not
100%.
They are not in that room unless they have been qualified to be in that room.
I'm glad you said that because I don't want to give this stigma of people that don't know anything about Star Wars. Okay, maybe they don't know a lot about Star Wars, but there's a reason they're in the room.
But
there is a reason.
They've studied like character development, story,
exactly,
like the stuff that really makes the bones of any show, of any movie. You know, everyone in that room has done that before. It might not be with the Star Wars glasses on, but they get it.
Like if they come in the room, or like, all right, we're in the room. They come in. Hey, have you ever watched New Hope? No, I haven't. Oh, you haven't? Okay. Well, like, what'd you write on? Oh, I was a writer on Breaking Bad, and I wrote some Game of Thrones episodes. It's like, what? Oh, yeah. Come on in, baby.
Sure.
We'll teach you.
Yeah.
We want your input. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, I wrote some of The Wire. It's like, all right, come in, call your friends who you worked with. So I'm super excited about it. I don't mean to dwell on this one thing, but it's very exciting to me that she would even bring it up, number one, and that she is smart enough. And this may be standard procedure by them, but I've never heard anyone talk about it in this light where they say like, hey, I brought in people that they're not diehard cutthroat fans.
I've never heard. JJ has always tooted his horn that he knows Star Wars. He's brought in Lawrence Kasdan, who wrote some of the original trilogy scripts.
And then for the High Republic, for the High Republic stuff, you get Claudia Gray and all these people who have done Star Wars forever.
And even Rian Johnson, he tooted his own horn saying, I'm a diehard Star Wars fan. I'm the one that's even writing the thing. But yeah, you're right in the fact that, I mean, I'm sure that all of those projects have had people come in that don't necessarily know 100%. It, but you're right, and this is the first time we've gotten the showrunner, broadcasting that
just saying like, look, everybody,
we're not all diehard fans.
We're getting creative up in here because that gets me so pumped, man. Because this has potential to be unlike anything we've seen, but on the same thread. And the fact that she's doing things we've never seen, but on the same thread,
right?
Ooh, God, it gets me pumped. I hope this show. So I'm at like an 8, and I've seen nothing from the show, right?
Except
if the show can, if the show can even deliver like a 7, I'd be good. That's where I stand. What's today? June 24th, right? That's where I stand. What's your thoughts on Acolyte? You guys know I'm hype about it. I've never really asked you what your thoughts on the Acolyte. Where do you stand? June 24th.
June 24th of 2021. I am very, very, I think honestly I'm more intrigued for the show now that I'm hearing this. I think we've just grown accustomed to with Star Wars, any creator that comes in, they're like, oh, Star Wars influenced me to even go after this kind of career. It's different though hearing this, and it's honestly for me as a diehard fan, it's kind of mentally challenging. Like, am I okay with this? Am I okay with people coming in and not really knowing all these details that all of us know? But I think that this is going to pay off. I really think that it's going to, like I said, one of the most important things is bringing in new people, new fans. Star Wars is not going to survive if we're just worried about catering to people that were around for the original trilogy, and now even, kids that grew up with prequels, like that's what we fall under. We grew up with the prequels coming out.
That's right. That's right. I saw the prequels in the daggum theater, boy.
Right. So anyway, long story short, it is a story that, me and Jacob, my brother, have always dreamed of seeing. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. And there's really nothing else to say. I would say my excitement level, honestly, is probably... Sounds like right now, at least, it's a little bit below you because you're just really ecstatic, which I love.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that you're that pumped.
Baby.
I guess I'm just so preoccupied with everything else coming, and you know how I'm a Kenobi diehard. Like, inject that in my veins. Let's go. And that's right around the corner. So I will give Acolyte all of the attention once I've seen Kenobi, I think. I think it's right there. I think it's right there behind Kenobi.
All right. So we didn't talk about this a lot, but I want to bring up some other notes about Acolyte, and also bring up. I want to talk about the February 2022, but we'll get there.
Okay.
First thing, I pulled up some other quotes. It says, "Not much is known about the series of Acolyte, but it's being set during the final days of the High Republic." So that's where we land. This is a quote. With the that was the quote, and this is the interviewer. "With the setting not so beholden to the Skywalker saga, she could take more risks." Yes, please take more risks. Another quote: "Mostly what I looked for were people that I felt could execute a great script number one." That's all I need to hear.
Yeah.
That's what I want to hear. And then she said, and then in the job interview, just really talking to people who had different life experiences than I did and had different connections to Star Wars. Boom, baby. She's just checking them off.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want to hear, man. It's so interesting to me that she would be that open about it, but also have the creative and the integrity to allow that to happen. Because I feel like some of these Star Wars people, we'll take Rian Johnson, for example, right? He wrote and directed The Last Jedi. He 100% got input from other people.
Yeah.
But he kept it very close to the chest, I'm sure. And very no. I don't know. I don't know if we should do that. I don't know. We're going to do the stupid slavery type, dog things or whatever.
Dog things.
Yeah. But I don't mean to turn this into a Last Jedi mess, but my example is her being open creatively to listen to people. You said it yourself where you're like, I don't know, man, that's scary to let other people touch my Star Wars baby. I'm happy to hear that she's open for that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's gonna bring I've said it already. It's gonna bring good things. I think it's just
I think so too.
We have to maybe mentally, other people out there that are kind of like me, mentally get over that hurdle. It's all gonna be okay. And at the end of it, this is crazy to even say, but it's real. At the end of it, it's just a show.
It's just a show.
Although with that said, like I said earlier,
people are crazy.
This is that one topic though, or that one setting that a lot of people have been clamoring for so long. Everyone has talked so much about, wouldn't an all-out Sith show or movie be incredible? And it's here. It's right here for the taking, and I hope it succeeds, and I think it will.
I think so too. I've seen nothing where we stand today.
Except a logo, right.
Except a logo and an idea of where it and when it might take place. Not even where, when. But last thing I want to talk about the Acolyte here is that February 2022. So we've speculated on Mandalorian dropping, Kenobi coming in, Andor dropping. Did we get the show in 2022? Did we get it end of 2022?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we're getting Mando III definitely in 2022. At the end of 2022 is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
And honestly, it might be one of those things where they sit on it a while because they know how important it is. They want to make sure that everything dotted, all their I's are dots and T's are crossed, whatever that saying is. I'll probably mess that up. But you know what I'm saying? Like, they understand how important the show is. I think I still expect Ahsoka to come before it as well. Andor to come before it, Kenobi to come before it, Mando 3 to come before it. That's 4. That's 4 shows that got to come out before the Acolyte, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't expect it in 22, but I will say this. Part of me, once I saw that date, I was like, is there a legit chance that this thing gets shot before Mando 3 with all of its scheduling issues?
You literally took my next talking point. That's where I was going to go. It's hard to have Mando 3 and into 2022 if you ain't going to shoot the damn thing.
Right. Because Mando 3, or I think in this article or report or whatever, it talks about how they are planning on using the volume for the Acolyte. You can't shoot Mando without the volume. So one of them...
Well, I think they got 2 volumes now.
Oh, do they?
I think I read that they have 2 volumes now.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
maybe.
I know
just keep going. I'll look.
I think Peyton Reed is using it for Ant-Man 3 right now.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
And Kenobi's using it as well, so there might be more than one at this point. So
yeah, I thought there was
point.
A couple.
But I mean, to be real, you can always have more than one project going on in that location, but that requires a lot of tearing down and putting together.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And
Who knows?
they seem to be very streamlined in like boop 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 and not really doing it back and forth. But
production starting that early is surprising to me. I was not expecting that at all. At all.
I did not even think it was that far along.
Right.
Like I got the vibe that it was like this is coming. We're going to keep showing you every year or keep talking about it, and then we're never going to do anything with it.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly thought that that's where we might end up, but, dude.
I agree.
I don't know, man. I agree with you that I think it's going to be a 2023, maybe like a spring 2023 drop, because that would give them, they start filming in February. We'll say 6 months to film. That's August, and then another 6 months to edit it. Sure. So that's kind of where I sit, like March, April drop. I think a March drop.
I think that would be good.
Because then we get Mando if they film it potentially
this
like Christmassy.
This scheduling is throwing me off because we even talked about it last week how, Disney has now made the decision to make Wednesdays their drop days. And I still don't expect, at least for right now, for them to cross over Marvel with Star Wars shows. So we have to even take into account when Marvel's dropping their shows. And so that's...
And they got a crap ton coming, too.
And that's calculation that I can't even do on the fly right now.
I can't either. I mean, there's just so much.
And it was hard to do with us even just focusing on all the Star Wars shows that are being developed right now.
We haven't even talked about Andor. So, I mean, there's been Andor set leaks every daggum day.
Yes, there has.
Right?
Yes, there has.
That's one of our news points, but we'll just drop on that. Like, it's been Andor set leaks every day, and I'm excited about it, right? I love seeing the Andor stuff, but when you gonna drop it?
Dude,
like,
there's
our calendar, we're going to have something new every 2 weeks between Marvel and Star Wars.
You're not wrong. Like you said, the Andor leaks just keep coming. So that tells me that is still very much in heavy development. Kenobi we know is in heavy development. Book of Boba Fett we know when that's coming.
It's interesting that we haven't had a lot of Kenobi leaks. I know we had like that one picture where he's like barely showing some costume. Yeah, but that's interesting to me, and I'm happy about it. But
yeah, I don't.
Why does Andor keep dropping leaks, but then Kenobi's sealed tight? That's weird to me. But
maybe it's just difference in location. Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. It seems like Andor is shooting more so on the other side of the pond, but I think Kenobi is here in the States. I think that's true. So maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe it's just hard to get everything lined up whenever they're on that side of, our planet. But who knows? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. But okay, I mean, and the last thing I guess I guess last thing total
Sure. Yeah.
would be a young woman of color in the lead role. Very cool. I just want to
Yeah.
throw that out. I love that. We'll get a woman of color
Mm-hmm.
in a lead role
Mm-hmm.
in Star Wars, in Sith.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I mean, is that confirmed that the lead is a Sith?
Lead's a Sith? No, it is not.
That
but
ain't even confirmed.
That is a huge assumption at this point from
Right.
everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't even know. What if she's a Jedi and she turns Sith? Like,
Oh.
what if that's what happens here?
That would be a great story. Sign me up. Sign me up.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I want the darkness. Give me the darkness.
Yeah, I
Do
agree.
it. Yes.
There's a lot of potential there with the Acolyte, and I really want more information, but I also don't, because I don't want too much information before it's too soon to get that. So I guess I'm just going to mentally focus, like I said, on the other things we got going on right now.
I mean, right now my mind's on Bad Batch, Book of Boba Fett. That's all I can handle, because we got a bunch. We've been watching Alone. I know this is not a Netflix podcast, but we've been watching Alone on Netflix. Very good. If you're looking to mix it up,
I think
we are loving it.
I think we've seen that.
There's multiple seasons.
So another Netflix thing. We're watching. It's the show with the plane that disappears.
Plane that disappears.
And then
Lost?
Is it Manifest?
Oh, I've heard about Manifest. Is it good?
We're loving it. We're just having fun watching that show together. So,
I've heard it's good.
It's kind of cheesy here and there, like some acting and some dialogue, and it's definitely got that television NBC vibe sometimes. But yeah, anyway.
Okay.
Star Wars.
Well, I think that's all we got on our news.
That's all our news for this week. But some plugs real quickly. The Bad Batch quick takeaways coming tomorrow morning, so make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Bad Batch big spoiler will be coming out Monday on all of our podcast platforms and here on YouTube. So again, you definitely want to be subscribed. And a couple of other plugs, like Zach's already mentioned, Discord is in the link. So click that link if you have not done so and join our Discord. Get to know us a little bit more and just have some fun with some fellow Star Wars fans. And check out our TikTok. We are having a lot of fun creating these weekly news piece videos, and we're also trying to get, just more creative with that platform and make some fun, interesting videos. So come check out our TikTok, and that's all the plugs that I got. But Zach, is there anything else that you were wanting to say before I cut you off there?
No, I thank you all for being with us. I know I say it every week, but it's very important to us. Thank you. We love doing this. We love that you're with us.
Yeah.
If you're listening at this point, we extra love you because you're sticking around with us, and we're very, very thankful. It does not go overlooked. We love all the sweet comments and the DMs and all that good stuff.
Agreed.
Keep them coming. We love it. And just share with your friends. We want more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, to speak to that comment thing, comment on this video and tell us what you think of all these news pieces. When do you think we'll get Book of Boba Fett content dropped? Do you expect to see Qi'ra ever return to a screen, TV, or movie? And what do you think about Leslie Headland talking about all these little details with the Acolyte? Clearly it's got Zach pumped, and I'm very happy to see it. I can't wait for that show. I think it's brewing to be special, and I'm gonna trust the creative heads and see where it takes us. Probably down a deep, dark path, but it's going to be fun regardless. Well, listen, we hope that you enjoyed this live stream. And again, if you're watching, on the playback, we really appreciate it. But that's all we got. We will see you tomorrow for our quick takeaway video of the Bad Batch, and definitely on Monday when me and Zach dive deep into spoilers for the latest episode of the Bad Batch. Well, with that said, we are going to get out of here. So, as always, we have spoken.